My goodness, talk about some big scoring here in the Titans v Raiders. 60 points in this game and led by Joey Tarpany. He is an absolute stellar season. 93 in just 58 minutes there, and that included a sin bin. Have any of you guys seen a game that good before, where someone's actually been sent for 10, drop their minutes, maybe slightly? To be fair, it probably doesn't matter too much for him, but the next 7 in points is the big one. So he actually would have picked up 100, so incredible game for him, and that includes 46 in base, but 42 in tackle breaks and also offload. So incredible from him, and did sneak that awesome try to help them build on that lead. So well done to Joey. Plenty of love there. And if you do own him, we've been speaking about him for a little bit now, just to sneak him into your squad, because this is the best he's ever been played, ever played. And at 834, he's been a tough one to pick up, and it's him and Murray at that same price at the moment, and Joey's outdoing him just slightly. We'll speak about Murray in a sec. He had a great score as well. I am recording this just after that final game, the Broncos game, which was a very interesting one with the Tigers prevailing there, but just to give you an idea of those last 2 games, probably aren't updated, or definitely aren't updated. So that's that here. But Sebastian Kris with a 78 was really, really cool. Again, not many people owning him. But he's had a couple of decent games in the last few weeks. Hudson Young back to his best there. Another 77, which included a try and 2 try assists. So well done to him. 20 in tackle breaks and offloads as well. This team's in crazy form with the tackle breaks and offloads overall. Whiten had an awesome game as well. Ran the ball perfectly, 114 meters, 6 tackle breaks and offload there. Had 21 tackles for the 1 miss, the 1 try assist as well. Awesome work from Whiten. Big Tino, he's had a great season, to be honest with you. A much better one than last year. Another 65 in big minutes for him. Got the line break later in that game. 46 in base, 7 tackle breaks as well. So lots of, plenty of missed tackles, plenty of tackle breaks. We'll see a bunch of low scores at the bottom with all the missed tackles, that's for sure. Bo for Moore has also had a really nice season, so congrats to him and anyone who still owns him. I think the majority of people have moved on from him, but a good one there. A few people would have brought Foggs in this week, and he becomes even more important with Cleary out. So a 53 in his book there is great. You take that for him being priced around that 47 mark there, 46. We had a few others, but great performances. Papali'i, Tomoko, Tanner Boyd as well. Aaron Clark was an interesting one here. The minutes were incredible, but 41 in base, the negative 12 kind of cooked him a little bit. We'll be hoping for a couple more minutes there. But again, you're getting him a 608, so he's pretty close to that 43 price and that average he's at the moment. But if you're picking him up, you're hoping for him to get a 50 plus. So very similar to Dave Fafita in him, wanting him to be able to get a 50 plus score at a minimum, considering you're buying him just under a 50 price on the way up, because that's going to stall his price rises a little bit. Not that matters too much at the moment, with most of us having limited trades, but David there with 42 is not ideal at all, because that 8 missed tackles really killed him. Yeah, actually surprisingly made 35, to be honest, but 73 for meters gained for a guy that's so damaging, again, is just too low. And you can't have 8 missed tackles and 73 run meters and get a good score, that's for sure. Xavier, so I'm pretty happy with his output, to be honest. He was kind of slow and steady across the game, around 20 at halftime. 2 line breaks, a try assist. We'll take that with 165 meters. Anything above 150 for a fullback is great, and we'll see when we talk about Latrell that low meters run is his specialty, and fortunately it kills us a little bit. The real sad one here was actually Adam Elliott, so going off with a little bit of an injuries, and hopefully it isn't too bad, because if we have to trade out him and Cleary, that would be tough, but I suppose this is why you have the extra trades. And Elliott is at a nice price, so really if you have to, he's not going to lose too much this week, and you'll be able to sell him for pretty much anyone. Guys like Payne Haas and stuff are a great option, who scored well again in that last game of the round. Well done to Jaden Campbell. Pick come on and got 2 tries there for 36 points. Was lovely. And looking down the line, guys got like Brimson with 29, Sexton, one of his lower games. So again, up and down with his type of scoring. Sasefa Fafita with the 15 for him, so try saver, and still only got the 15 points, so not ideal. After he had an awesome debut, he hasn't ran well at all, only 90 meters in this one, a couple of errors unfortunately as well. And you see Corey Harawira only come on for the 28 minutes and pick up 5 points, so he got close to a try as well. Zachy Wolford showed why he wasn't super relevant as a fantasy player. We go to the Sharks v the Bunnies, and this was an awesome game of footy, 21-20, double overtime there, and really helped out. If you had a bunch of plays in this game, you're really, really happy with the extra points that got added during extra time. especially someone like Damien Cook, who was sitting pretty low with about 10 minutes to go, around that 40 mark, and he ended up getting 63 there. Big tackle numbers, got the try assist late in the game as well for Totola, which is really lovely. That was an awesome try, by the way. He loves a sneaky 70, doesn't he? Yeah, he's actually scoring pretty well this year, but obviously around those 70s, he has a bunch of low scores in those 30s. Cam Murray, again, we have to clap when it's due. 78 in the full game. I spoke about him probably playing the full 80, 87, just because it was going to be a really close game, and it turned out to be exactly that. And congrats to Nicho Hynes. Let's just put it out there right this second that, with everything he's gone through growing up, to hear his story was amazing. But then to move to the Sharks, have all the pressure on his shoulders, we can say right at this point of the season, he's really delivered. And to put the cherry on top there, did get that field goal to win the game in this one, a really important one at home in front of the fans. I think the pressure that's mounted on him, obviously he's lived up to it already so far, and just put another notch on that already. And obviously we'll see what happens in the finals, but to this stage of the season so far, he's ticked every box. So he's definitely kicking the goals a little bit better as well. So yeah, big props to Nicho Hynes there, the 66 this week. If you captained him, you're cheering. Even if you didn't, you're still happy with the outcome there. Cam McInnes, this is the one now. So we got the 8 minutes rest there during the middle of the game-ish, and 54 tackles for 2 misses, amazing. 2 offloads there. Did have neg 10, but when you're hitting 69 in base, you're really happy. So McInnes looks like the next few weeks he's going to be getting some big minutes, and especially with that win and showing the effort that he put in, I think that they're going to continue giving him that. And hopefully we see him over a 700k price tag in the next few weeks. So well done, Cam. Finally repaying the faith for those that kept the faith in him. And obviously got a little bit lucky with Finucane being out. Well, I'm going to acknowledge that for sure. But this is what happens in this game. We've seen this week, guys like Moses, we've got him with an injury now. Looks like he'll be out for a month. There's a lot of things that can happen. I was actually speaking with Scoop during the week on our pod there that I just don't feel like there's been that many injuries over the last few months. It's all happened in 1 week, unfortunately. So that's that. We spoke about Cook, got that 63 there, so did his job. Just the limited running meters was killing him early in this game. So, yeah, a well done effort. Well done, and a big effort from him there. Colin Matangi, again, just becoming a keeper in this game. So well done to those guys that own him. There is just under 5% and 14 for Damien Cook. Look at the amount of big scores in this game as well. Rudolph was huge, 61 minutes, 51 tackles, amazing. Only 3 misses there. Cody Walker had a nice game as well. He did everything that we would hope that he could do. Brayley, you'll take his 49, obviously 6 misses, but 56 tackles again. A little bit of a clap. Isaiah Tass is going to be a really, really great player. Like that effort there where Sharks had a chance, bit of like a 3-on-2, and he managed to stop the pass, and they tried to kick it through. Moreland tried to kick it underneath, and he dived back and saved it and hit it out. Just that real desperation effort is going to go a long way for him in his career. So well done to Tass just for that play in general, but tackling and his efforts on ball are really strong as well. So 49 for him. If you have used him as that backup, it obviously works pretty well with Kohler being out this week. So we slide down a little bit lighter again. Another try for Johnson. Just a big shout out to him. I actually played cricket against him in like under 12s reps. He was playing for St. George. So big throwback. He's my age, which is crazy. 27 and has just entered. He's tied for 9th/10th with Josh Morris for the most tries ever. And very quickly will be like in the top 5, I believe. He only has to get like 3 or 4 more tries to get like 5th, which is incredible. So a big shout out to you, Alex Johnson, for obviously, just his ability to finish in one. Obviously, if he wasn't anywhere near like as a winger, the longevity is the biggest one in a good team. It's going to be helpful. But if you're not a good finisher, you don't have the longevity. If you don't have the pace that he has, you just don't last that long. And the finishing ability, you probably shave off, what's he at, 150 odd tries? You shave off probably 30 or 40 of them if you can't finish to that standard. So well done to Johnson. Really impressive efforts there. Okay, Latrell, he ended up moving to the centres. Not great, right? Cody Nikarima comes on and fills in at in the 1 jersey. Jed Cartwright went off after 30 odd minutes. So Latrell moved to centre for a good portion of the game, which was killer. It was killer for sure. Just Latrell not having his hands on the ball as much, not what you want. When you got 16 from a try and goals and you still only getting 38 with those extra minutes as well, not ideal at all. 66 run meters is something that we are accustomed to seeing from Latrell, but it needs to be more. You know, it's of course we pick him up after a couple of really, really good games, and then he has 2 average ones, to be honest with you, a 48 and a 38 there. We are accustomed to seeing this from Latrell, and this is what I was saying, but then I'd end up buying him anyway. You know, he's a slightly underpriced keeper. And it doesn't work out that way, unfortunately. Rami and Talakai 33, so if you own them, same with Mulatalo 24, you're not too excited. Davy, big 20 points for him, for those that need to play him. And Will Kennedy at 10, so getting back down to his normal levels. And Cartwright going off with 32 minutes for 16. So that's that. And we move to the last one. Again, no points updated in these last couple of games. But we get amazing score from Dewey. Woohoo! And congrats to the Tigers. After playing really well last week and missing out on that win against the Cowboys, you get a win against their rival in the Broncos. So a 32-18 effort there. For a Broncos team that actually played alright, Tigers just played really well, if we're being honest there. 71 points for Adam Dewey. We had 8 with the try there. Very sneaky, just speed and power play there off the scrum. We had the 6 goals, so he's kicking the ball a lot better now that, he had a bit of a rough start since coming back kicking goals, and he's improving on that now, which is great. Kick meters were back in his favour with Jock Madden playing. So Luke Brooks is out, which means we're not going to have to worry about that. Hastings might be out too. We'll see what happens with that ankle injury, but looking good for kick meters for him. Back at over 300 would be great. Run meters is never an issue over that 100. He still had a bunch of negatives, but so many positives there. 29 tackles. If we can get that on a regular basis, we're going to be fine. Even if he's getting 4 misses a game, a 20 net positive on that tackling is going to be hectic for those who picked him up. And I'd say a few more people will pick him up next week with Cleary going down if you didn't have him so far. Seyfarth, we've spoken about him a few times that he's had some great efforts in that number 11, number 12, the edge rack row position, and another 71 effort from him. 50 tackles for 1 miss. So well done to Seyfarth. Really big effort. Payne Haas, so 71 minutes, so massive effort there. 50 in base, only a little bit on the attacking stats side of thing, but if he can get 58 plus on a regular basis, he's very close to a must-have. Just going forward, Offengawa, if those people are still thinking about moving him on, it's a silly decision. If he can get 60 plus minutes every week, 45 in base, you get 4 offloads this week. If he can get anywhere near that on a regular basis, then he's a keeper, long-term, 55 plus kind of player. You got to hold him. Well done to Billy Walters, a good game from him. Jordan Ricky, a nice try there. Hastings still scored great at 53, thank goodness for anyone who had him. He only got injured right at the end of the game. It was a pretty tough one from Carrigan, to be honest with you. Just dragged underneath and got that ankle in a real compromised position, so unfortunate for that. Reynolds had a great game early on as well. He was really killing it, dominating, got a couple of try assists. Just overall, the 5 missed tackles and really run meters and kick meters a little bit down than what they normally be. Run meters maybe not as much as the, maybe losing 5 or so points in the kick meter department, and played obviously 10 or 11 less minutes with the HIA. So glad he came back on for those that own him. But he still scored above what he's priced at. He'll have a big jump this week. Tessinu continuing to score well. Stags, a solid game from him. We had a decent one from Tuolangi. Early on had that line break and try assist, and finally they're using him. I spoke about in the Discord group why they haven't been using him. He's such a damaging runner of the footy. 105 metres, which included 50 of them being a break. So still not using him enough. And then unfortunately he was kind of hampered by injuries for the last section until he went off. So that's that there. And then lower down the list, Carrigan is a big worry. So I wouldn't be looking at bringing him in at the moment. If you do own him, it's a very stressful one. Plenty of negatives. So we've got negative 16 there. The tackles are really low for some reason. It is 60 minutes. And if you're looking at Payne Haas, for example, his tackles were a little bit low as well. So maybe it's just the Broncos in this one just didn't have big tackle numbers. There's obviously a few on the edge. The edge guys are making decent tackles. But if you look at the Tiger side of the ball, Dewey's making 29 in the 6th position. You got Seyfarth on the edge making 50. Hastings 38 through the middle. We had Tuolangi as well, making 22, 62 minutes. So, yeah, a little bit low for the Broncos overall. But generally, this is he's had a few of these low scores now. It's a big worry, to be honest with you guys. So we'll actually have to speak about him a little bit more as we get through the week. Dean Mariner got the 27. So 80 minutes for him. Obviously, them losing is not ideal, to be honest there, with most people expecting Broncos to come out and win this game. You'd expect him to get a few attacking stats, and he did run for 143 meters and 11 tackles for 1 miss. It's sweet. Just the 3 tackle breaks, no try assists, no line breaks, no tries from there. Not ideal, but at 220k, you get a little bit of a bump from him. You'll take the 27 and I suppose move on. That's all you can really do. You got Palacia here with the 5, so if you had him, hope you didn't have to play him. And that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed that a lot. That is the Saturday night review show, a much longer one, as always, with those 3 games and plenty of players going on there. Let me know how many players you have left. If you stuck all the way through this video, let me know how many you got left, and maybe a fun fact about yourself. If you can do that, that would be sick. Love yous all, and I'll catch you in the next video. See you later.